Welcome back to Movies TV Man, and welcome to Friday's edition of the DCU Daily. Superman is in trouble. Now, listen, if Superman is a great movie that makes $2 billion, I'll tag James Gunn and apologise to every reservation I've had about him making this movie and this movie itself. But I don't see that scenario happening. Take a listen to this. Last year, documents filed by the Superman production team with the Ohio government seeking incentives listed the gross budget of the highly anticipated July film as $363.8 million. When that number was reported, director James Gunn, who also runs DC Studios, well, he co-runs it with Peter Safran, and it isn't even a real studio, as I keep on saying. It's a logo owned by Warner Brothers Discovery. Lambasted the article. How in the world, Gunn said, do they think they know what our budget is? Because it's listed, you twat. He wrote on social media, in recent days, DC suggested the budget is a net $225 million after incentives and tax breaks. So it was originally that price, and now it's $225 million. Yet one long-time financier says the $363 million figure isn't incorrect, and sources say DC and its parent could spend as much as $200 million on the global marketing campaign, compared with the usual $150 million for an all-audience summer tentpole. It wouldn't be a surprise since Superman kicks off the Gunn era and needs to work at the box office. Either way, between the production budget and marketing, it is certain to land in the $400 million club. What we don't know is if tax incentives reduce this. But this, if they have spent $400 million, and that's what they spent, and they're not getting that reduced through tax incentives, right? That's an astronomical figure. What that actually means is that this film needs to make $1 billion just to make a healthy profit. And will it make $1 billion? Well, it's unlikely. According to veteran studio source, Superman, which opens July the 11th in North America, is exploding on social media, with the first full trailer ranking in 250 million plus views. The most in Warner Brothers DC history. Based on such metrics, a domestic debt of a domestic debut of $175 million or thereabouts is within the realm of possibility. So they're saying because the views of the teaser were so high, and it's true, it could bring in $175 million domestic on opening weekend. So, if those views are accurate, there's a good chance that it could bring in near on 200 million domestic, right? That's what it needs to do. We'll see. Or thereabouts is within the realm of possibility. It even has a shot at finishing with $1 billion plus globally. Now, that's a big statement, but they're judging it on the views. We saw what Deadpool and Wolverine did with, I think, less views. So, if these views haven't been doctored, then there's a good chance of a good profitability for James Gunn's Superman, but we're going to have to wait and see. But now people are seeing these cringy TV spots. That isn't going to help the situation, but again, we'll see. There is no way to defend these budgets, because when you get into the $700 million mark to $900 million break-even point in regards to box office and ancillary revenue, it doesn't make any sense, says a veteran financier. So you don't need me to say it. He says they basically need $700 to $900 million just to break even. That means to really make a healthy profit, they need to make over $1.5 billion. Do you know what I mean? It's insane numbers. And the marketing never needed to cost this much. And did the film really need to cost this much? Well, a Superman film has a lot of VFX, so I can understand the $225 million budget, but a $200 million marketing budget is fucking insane. So, they've got a lot of work to do here in terms of marketing. If they've actually spent $200 million on the marketing, they better start doing some great marketing. When I look at the marketing thus far, it hasn't been overly impressive. But the problem is, you can only market the film you've made. Now, we've heard leaks from the test screenings that WB were trying to avoid the more cringy elements of Gunn's movie in the marketing, and how they were trying to convince the audience that that's not the film, that you're going to get a serious film. Don't forget, we haven't seen Superman smile in any of the marketing yet. This is a Warner Brothers Discovery decision. But, $400 million. I mean, it's insane. Because it's bad enough that this movie needs to make bank to save the company, to save cinema, if you like, to give a great reputation that movies are back. Because right now, when I see the box office of this year, apart from Minecraft and Sinners, the rest hasn't been great. So it hasn't been a great year for the box office at the end of the day. It's going to be fascinating what this film actually makes. I have no clue at this point, but when I hear that a movie's cost $400 million, it says more about this industry as a whole than it does about James Gunn and DC Studios and the dumbasses at Warner Brothers Discovery. You see, the profitability, box office, has shrunk in the past, 5 to 10 years. That's because they don't make good movies anymore. They don't make entertainment anymore. They trigger the audience with their propaganda and their creative bankruptcy. So not many people go and watch movies anymore because they're not worth watching. And they've tried so much spin, blaming COVID, the strikes. They'll blame anything but themselves. It's your fault, nobody else's. You got Tom Cruise saying everyone should go to cinema and watch all these movies, support theatres. No. Put good movies in theatres and we'll go. The AMC theatre chain is making changes because Hollywood are pressuring AMC to do things to attract people into theatres. The theatres are not the problem. I don't care if there's a bunch of turd either side of me. I'll still go and watch a great fucking movie. It ain't on the theatres, it's on you, you deluded fucks, right? You are the problem, nobody else. You have one job to do. Make an epic, awesome Superman movie, right? We knew what you had to do this time. You had to make a movie for everyone, for families, for everyone who loves this character, and people who just randomly want to go and enjoy a movie this summer blockbuster season. And the trailers look okay, but the recent TV spot with Lois Lane and Guy Gardner, as I mentioned yesterday, absolute fucking cringe. And again, seeing the posters, seeing the marketing, the recent marketing of the past few days, I really do get this sinking feeling. Again, if I'm wrong about this film, and it's going to be great, and it's going to make a lot of money, and they're right, based on the views of the trailers, and I'm wrong, then I'll apologise to Gunn. I'll tag him, and I'll congratulate him, and I'll be happy as a Superman fan that we've got a great movie that's done really, really well in the box office. But as I said on top of the show, that's not how I see things thus far. I'm getting this sinking feeling. And to spend that type of bank, that type of green on a movie isn't very prudent, isn't very clever, because you need more money at the box office to pay that 400 fucking million. This isn't good business, right? Forget about great entertainment. This isn't good business. Who told you to spend this type of money? Your business, your studio is on its knees. It's on the verge of fucking bankruptcy, right? Your credit rating is on junk. But you have spent 400 million on a movie, and most of that going on your marketing. Because you don't have to spend a lot of money to do good marketing, right? If you've got a good movie, a few trailers, a few posters. But this is insane. This is lunacy. It does make you wonder now when I think about the global kind of rollout of Black Adam and what The Rock was doing. How much did they fucking spend on the marketing for that film? Because that film didn't make bank either, did it? So it's interesting. So even if this movie is the best, even if this movie makes $1 billion, the profitability isn't as much as it would have been if the total spend with marketing was 250 or 300 or something like that. But these are insane numbers from people who have no clue. Not only don't they understand how to run a business, but they don't understand how to run the entertainment business because they drove out the best people. They drove out titans of industry and replaced them with fucking idiots. There's no way any film should have the total budget of $400 million. It's insanity. And nobody knows what this film's going to make. Now they're right. The views for the trailers would say that this movie is going to hit hard. According to what they're saying, no other movie has had the views. So they're claiming now, that site, Box Office Theory, is claiming 175 million domestic opening, right? Now they're basing that on the trailer views because it's a record for Warner Brothers. Any Warner Brothers trailer, that's interesting, isn't it? So if these views haven't been doctored or tampered, then this film should make bank. But if this movie underachieves or even worse flops, what does that say about those views? It means quite possibly that those views were doctored. And you wouldn't put it past these people, would you now? Because basically these views means that people should at least on the opening weekend, out of curiosity, go and watch this movie. But will they? We are getting so close to the release of this movie, everyone. And, the talking's going to stop at long last. And we're going to see if this movie is going to be any good. I saw another clip where, in the Force of Solitude, Crypto's chasing after Superman's feet and he's going, get away from me. It just doesn't make Superman look very manly, does it? And that's what he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be upstanding, a tower of strength. And this concerns me. Seeing stuff like this concerns me. And this is why I'm getting this sinking feeling about this movie. As I say, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. There's nothing wrong with being wrong about things. But I don't have a good feeling about this movie. And as I said months ago, there will be an autopsy about this movie. And one of the things, obviously, will be the budget. But creatively, Gunn will have to be questioned. A lot of his decisions will have to be questioned. Because I believe he never really had a vision for Superman. Superman isn't his character. He doesn't really get Superman. He doesn't really like Superman. He likes the grade Z, Y, and X kind of comic book characters. We already know what he likes to do, right? And he's very good at that. It could be that people say, oh, he's done a good job with Hulk Girl and Guy Gardner and all the other, umpteen meta-humans he's introducing to this movie, but they might say he hasn't done a very good job with Superman. And the film is called Superman. You can't do a great job with your supporting characters and do a crap job with your main character and get away with it. I was very happy with the casting of Rachel Brosnahan, but when I see her scene with Guy Gardner, it's utter fucking cringe. Look, there's not even a defense of that scene. It's utterly uncomfortable. It looks terrible. And maybe it's just a little clip that they showed, because it does finish very, very quickly. But it just doesn't, it's supposed to be funny. It's supposed to be funny. This is Gunn humour. And Gunn humour, when it's not funny, and sometimes it is funny, comes off very, very cringy. and uncomfortable. Nobody really knows what this movie is. Nobody really knows if this movie is going to be successful, but we don't have long to wait to find out.